Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. It's a Sunday edition, a special edition because I got a special guest joining me today. I'm like a kid in the cookie jar because I'm very blessed. He's one of the greatest college football players that ever played the game at a high level at the University of Oklahoma. His name is Mr. Jamelle Holieway. Before we get started, I'd like to give shout outs for this young man being on our show today to Mr. Bryce Turner, my cousin with Big Chief Publishing Company out of Oklahoma City. I want to say much love and much thanks. Now, let's get this party started. I'm bringing on one of the greatest wishbone quarterbacks that ever done it himself, Mr. Holloway. Boomer Sooner.
Sooner.
How you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right, good people. Even though Oklahoma lost yesterday, we still all right today.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring up that Ole Miss loss and Lane Kiffin putting that wood to y'all, but I'm gonna keep it real today down in Oxford, Mississippi. But let's get started. Um, your time. When did you first really? You grew up out there in Carson, California, and when did you know at a young age? I'm talking about childhood that you had special gifts that can take you a real long place, and who got you started?
Um, well, who got me started was all the coaches and Inglewood Junior All American. At that time, the hardest thing was to to not have a father there. So all my coaches was my father figures.
Yes, sir.
And they taught me. The coaches taught me a whole lot at the park that I that helped me, that started me on my career. And again, Inglewood Junior All American, Darby Park, Signal Field, and then from there took our skills to the almighty Banning High School. Let me just give some people. I mean, my our high school was we had a lot of former great players: Freeman McNeil, Vince Ferragamo, matter
Bob
of fact,
Whit-
Bob Whitfield from
Whitfield
hey,
and
Bob
Court
from
and
Stanford,
Courtney, yeah, and
from
Courtney
Atlanta,
Hall and Courtney
Courtney
Hall.
Hall.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. All of them. Leroy Holt. And so growing up, I lived in Los Angeles, but but they play good football out in Wilmington, Carson area, and I asked my mom to move out that way for me to play some good high school sports. Maybe I can get a scholarship. And the best thing is when your parents believe in you at a young age
Yes, sir.
and instill it in you and live the dream with you. I mean, I can't get no better than that, my friend. I can't.
But your mom, she was a registered nurse, correct?
She's a registered physical therapist. She's
Okay.
been physical therapist 40, I mean, more than over 50 years. Excuse me. And she's my rock and my stone, man.
Let's talk about your high school coach. I know Vince Ferragamo, his brother was your high school coach, correct?
Chris Ferragamo was the ultimate coach. Uh, Coach Ferragamo started back in 19, I want to say 50, really. And, and to this day, he's 80 some years old, and he is still putting it down with the best of them at Banning High, helping out from time to time, giving his knowledge back to the kids. You can't get no better than that either. I mean, a coach that has been in in the limelight for decades and has produced athlete after athlete after athlete, and that's all right.
I want to also throw one other player in there too that came out of Banning, Mr. Tyrone Rogers, national
Oh,
champion at the University of Washington. Let me give him some love to Banning High School. Now, let's talk about Banning. How many state championships did y'all win? And basically, who did you face that was real tough that went on and had some decent careers on the college level and pro level? What was some of the competition out there when you was in high
Carson,
school?
the Carson Colts was always we always playing for a city championship, and that it was a lovely thing. Coliseum, 35,000 people for a high school football game, and again. I'm sorry, I forgot all about Tyrone Rogers, but Tyrone Rogers is my best friend. And
Yes,
he did
sir.
go to Washington, won the national championship at Washington. And it's a beautiful thing to see um, our the men through and through come out of Banning High School and how we still can keep in contact with one another and still be part of the family back then, now, and in the future.
Let's talk about the recruiting wars. You was highly rated. Some people consider you the best quarterback in the country, which I wouldn't argue with in 1985 when you came out. I want you to tell some true stories about some schools. I know Oklahoma got you, and I'm gonna ask you, how did Oklahoma get you? But I know Colorado was in on high on you, Washington, California, UCLA, USC, and Nebraska. Tell us a little bit, if you can, wolves behind going to all those
Yeah,
schools, and tell us
question.
some real stories how Mr. Coach Osborne came to you, Coach Donahue, and especially I want to know about Joe Cap at the University of California.
Okay.
Take us to your recruiting wars.
Okay. Well, I'll start like this. Uh, uh, they came in. Mind you, a kid from California has never been outside of California. So I wanted to go on every recruiting trip I wanted to go on. I mean, I had one to Oregon, Hawaii, Colorado. I just walked up there to UCLA. Had one at Cal and New Mexico State and Oklahoma. And I went to New Mexico State because my buddy, rest in peace, Brett Young, he uh he had a sky. I mean, he had a recruiting trip with him. And we wanted to go together, being high school mates. I mean, that was New Mexico State, where Las Cruces back then it was seaweed. I mean, tumbleweeds, whatever you in the desert with, and all like that, and they still had teepees. No,
Right.
no, 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 really, they still had teepees, and that was really shocked me. And you had to go to a restaurant where you had to eat that 40-ounce T-bone steak, or it's free. I mean, see, that's what I remember about recruiting and everybody trying to eat this steak. But with USC and UCLA, because they're in the house, we was always down at on campuses at both of them. I mean, and having a good time because of all the players before me that went to Banning that signed with USC, and so it was a nice time the whole time, just going down there hanging out. And you say Cal, Joe Cap is I didn't know this, but he was the first Native American quarterback
Yes,
in the
sir.
in the NFL, and he really let me know that, and he let me know that you're a winner, and it takes people like you to make a difference.
Yes,
As
sir.
far as far as a quarterback go, if you come to my school, you can make a difference, and you can set some history. But my problem with Cal was I wasn't that smart to go quarter systems. That or
Right.
UCLA. I can't learn stuff in 4 weeks and take a test and go, no, you got to give me a whole semester. I can't be 4 weeks and a quarter and I might be eligible, I might not. No. So that really scared me as because I knew my capability. I knew that I mean, I'm gonna learn but I can't learn that fast, on those quarter systems with those kids. And so here we go. Fast forward to Colorado. McCartney was there, and he sit there and said that they was gonna change the wishbone. They was gonna do all this. They gonna change to the option, all that. And no, that ain't. I mean, I just again, it's recruiting. So I'm not thinking that. I'm just thinking that you just telling me anything,
Yes, sir.
because before you didn't change it, and you telling me I can come in and do this and that and this, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, okay, here comes Oklahoma. Okay, here goes Nebraska. And be honest with you, I never did like Nebraska because growing up, um, that day after Thanksgiving, that Oklahoma Nebraska game, and my grand,
1971.
hey, Johnny Rogers, you know what I mean? Yeah, they
Jack
kicked that.
Mildred.
Hey, Jack Mildred on the other side. I
Grant
know John.
Pruitt.
Hey, some kind of special. I got to give him. I got to give what's due is due. I mean, it is what it is. But grandmama used to have me at the TV. When it was the rabbit ears and you had to stand there for reception. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you was the guinea pig. You was the grandson. I mean, so
Yes,
I
sir.
had to stand there and watch football at a side angle, breaking my neck because grandmama and them was in front, and so you got to stand there for the reception. But all those games brought me to loving Oklahoma football, loving seeing Joe Washington with the silver shoes, seeing Thomas Slide with the bandana, and my personal man.
Testing, testing. 1, 2. Mr. Holloway. Yeah, y'all, we ain't lost you, man. And I guess.
This is just on my phone again.
Okay.
Oh, this is just on the phone. 'Cause I can't get it back. Where's your
I can't do it. I don't know how
no,
to do
where's your
apps.
mm-mm. Okay, there's Vincent. That's on my phone.
Yeah, but can he hear you? Yes, he can hear you.
Can you hear me, Vincent?
Yeah, I can hear y'all clearly.
Okay.
Okay, we might have to finish up on the phone.
Can y'all hear us?
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna have to
Okay.
finish up on the telephone, man. So it's gonna be a little tight. He might
Yeah.
have to hold the phone to his ear. He went to the
Okay.
restroom. He went to the restroom right quick.
Okay. No problem.
Sorry about that, cousin. I didn't
We're ready yet? Okay, I'm right here. That's the office.
Muted my mic, which is fine. It's unmuted. Can you hear us?
Bro, I done been through it. I already know that. You ain't bullshit, man. When a nigga get greedy, that's what fuck up everything, man. We get money from cross country.
Mute our
Hold
mic.
on,
Mute,
Jack.
mute our mic.
Yeah, move, yeah.
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you real loud and clear, young lady. Can
Okay,
you hear
so
us?
I can.
Let me go get the
Okay,
minute.
check this out. Check this out.
Hold on one. Okay, dang it.
Man, y'all,
Well, let me.
All right, here we. Oh, that's it. Hey,
It's
man.
gonna be little.
Don't be. Okay. Which one am I? Oh, I'm right there.
And there
Oh,
you
oh,
are,
did we?
right there.
Okay. All right. Here we go. We good.
Let me
you ready
see.
to go, Mr. Jeremiah?
Okay, there
I
you
can. I
go.
can hear you too.
Okay, let's go. Let's
All right.
redo it. Okay. Um, how many state championships did you win in high school?
We won one state championship. My 11th grade year. We did it. We came back the next year and we lost the Carson. But in that game at the Coliseum again with 35,000 people watching us at the LA Coliseum in high school, I rushed for 259 and threw for like 263, but I fumbled, at the crucial time of the game before we went in to score a touchdown, and I lost the game for us. And it was kind of you can see it still hurts me now. I mean, even though high school, it still hurts me to this damn day to know that we lost our city championship because I fumbled the ball, holding the ball like a loaf of bread.
Okay, now let's get back to the recruiting wars. The real decision for you to go to Oklahoma and what really convinced you and what did Coach Switzer say to you before you signed with Oklahoma?
It wasn't what Coach Switzer said. It's what I told him was he comes in my mom's house and after a long day of recruiting and and everybody, hold on, everybody in the at that time, their mama had that living room where only her friends went in, where the carpet was white or light in color, and with the plastic on the couch. I mean, okay. So yeah, so we go in. Coach Switzer comes in and lays down on the floor, and they're right there. I mean, I thought that was the most remarkable, incredible, weirdest, but just to the point thing. I mean, he asked. I said, "You want to sit on the couch?" He said, "No." He just laid in the floor like two little kids shooting marbles. So right then and there, he broke the ice, and he didn't even know he broke the ice by
Yes,
laying
sir.
in the floor. But then I went on to tell him. He starts his spiel. I went on to tell him, say, Coach, I don't. It don't matter what you say. I want to go to Oklahoma if you want me to. All I do is just don't want you to go tell nobody. But we gonna shake hands right now, and but I don't want you to tell nobody because I want to go on these recruiting trips. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to Oregon. I want to go to Colorado. I want to go to. Again, I'm a kid that's never been outside of California. I want to go see some stuff. And we
Yes,
shook
sir.
hands, and the man told me that it would never snow during football season. And I believe that's the only thing he ever lied to me about. Because the first year I came to Oklahoma and played football was that damn ice bowl. And that we incurred the first the first the first game on ESPN, way back then, you know, and so he told me like, son, I can't lie about Mother Nature. I mean, I can't predict Mother Nature, so I ain't lied to you. So
Okay.
that's why.
Okay, let's get to Oklahoma. You get there. Now you got some serious competition, some smoke. Eric Mitchell out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Charles Thompson out of Lawton. Now you coming into the recruiting class, but what I really want to know, what was your first day of practice at Oklahoma against Bosworth, Casillas, Kevin Murphy, Daryl Reed? What was it like your first day of practice? Because I know you was a scout team quarterback. Talk about that a little bit.
They the first I was sixth on the depth chart, and first coming in, everybody started getting hurt. So I moved up to myself and Eric Mitchell moved up to number 2 and 3 on the depth chart. Troy Aikman, Jamelle, and Eric Mitchell. Okay, so I'm playing. So I'm the scout team. I'm the scout quarterback for the number one defense in the nation, and they prepped me whether I wanted to be prepped or not knowing I was getting prepped by practicing against them by being their dummy. They helped me. They helped me better than anything else that could have prepared me for the games. Because if I can do well against them, I mean, and them being the number one defense in the nation, I mean, the game was easy. The practices were hard because I had to go against them and they wouldn't giving me. Again, I didn't have no shirt to wear. They couldn't hit me. They can hit me because I'm just a scout dummy. So I had to protect my own self, okay, for the future. I already know. I know how to fall down, get out of bounds before they
Right,
can really hit me. you know?
right, right. So let's talk about around the season. Y'all win your first four games, I believe, in a year. Y'all playing nationally ranked Miami. Then Troy Aikman breaks his leg. Coach Switzer say you get in there. Now, when he said you up, next man up, what went through your mind getting ready to go on the field against Miami? Because Miami at the time, the defense was rocking. Jerome Brown, Daniel Stubbs, Randy Shannon, Brian Blades. What was
Well,
your thinking when he said get your ass out there? What was your thinking when you know
well,
you had to face them? Can't you had to play that defense?
well. My thinking was the way Coach Switzer built the team was he loaded the stables. He wanted everybody. He wanted all the great athletes on his side, so, because he knew sooner or later somebody was going to get hurt, and the next man was up. And so from that point of view, when it's it was the first time ever when I was there that I got to practice with number ones. Coach Switzer knew something before that Miami game. He knew something because I got to have at least 15 reps with number one offense. And
Now,
then
and
go
then
ahead.
you go on the field against Miami. My question is, when you got on the center, what was Jerome Brown saying to you? Tell the truth. What was he saying to you?
Well, the things that Jerome Brown was saying that I can't repeat on right here, but it was in the trenches, and I tell you that, to be honest with you, that was the difference between the games because in those trenches, those men, those men had a lot of stuff to say. That's all I
Yes,
can
sir.
tell you. You know about their mamas and their daddies, and and the kids, and especially the mamas was just so when you get a person out of thinking about football and they just mad at you. Now you got them out of their game. I knew that, but my offensive lineman didn't know that. I mean, by calling them all kind of various names and just get them to interact back and forth. Well, if I get you to interact back and forth, I got you now. You see, and then I can go put apply this pressure on you, and as far as physical and one man against another man's will. So now I got you. I'm beating you two times in the brain and physical. I mean, so and if you do that on any game, on anybody, you're gonna have the advantage and you should be able to come out winning. And that's what they did. And I don't like Miami. I never did, but I know if I had to play them all over again, I would want to play them every game because they were the best. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. So that was my attitude. And if I had to play them every game, I would, because again, I want to be the best and I got to beat the best to be the best.
Well, you don't have to worry about that 85 season because after they defeated y'all your first game, they went on and lost the Sugar Bowl to the University of Tennessee, and then y'all ended up beating
Right.
Penn State and winning that
Love it.
championship. But
Love it.
let's go back after the Miami game. This was I was impressed with you most of all. This why you proved to the nation that you was the best. I want to say player in the country. You come back the next week, Iowa State. Your first game, y'all gained 542 yards total offense. Eric Mitchell even come off the bench and have 135 yards. Y'all beat Iowa State 59-14. Then y'all come back with KU the next week. You put 162 up, 19 yards, 19 carries, 424 yards. Y'all beat Kansas 48-6. Then you break Jack Mildred's record. Listen out here
Missouri,
on the pot, Missouri. You come back, you have
three,
156 rushing, 168
329.
passing, 324, and y'all beat Missouri 51-6. But
Remember,
that but excuse me, the game that impressed me the most when I know
Nebraska.
you was a real deal, Nebraska. The 88-yard return, I mean reverse turn with Keith Jackson. But people don't talk about this. That hell of a we call it back in my hometown, Memphis, Tennessee. That's getting to the hood we talking about. That 43-yard touchdown you had against Nebraska was beautiful. And y'all beat Nebraska. Y'all would have should shot out Nebraska if it would have
Yep.
been for that D tackle recovering that
Yeah.
fumble and
Danny
taking it out of
Newman.
return. Correct. And then against SMU. This is when I know Oklahoma was on their way, probably win the national championship. Y'all played them the last game of the year. I'm gonna tell you a true story. I
Bone
was
against
wo-
bone.
I was working in Knoxville at a restaurant. Just had moved up there, busting tables, and I watched that game. What impressed me the most, and the only reason I watched the game, Jamal, because of Reggie Dupart.
That's
But I
right. Number
came
two.
but I came away. You put 126 on them and two touchdowns. I say, you know what? Oklahoma gonna probably, if they get some help, gonna win the national championship. Talk about them games right there, and why you played at so much at a high level. And the bone looked like the bone from '71. It looked like the bone from '76 with Lott running it. It looked like the bone from J.C. Watts running it. It looked like the bone from Danny Bradley era. But man, doing on 4 games, you were special. So talk about that right there for a minute.
Well, first of all, thank you for you to remember all that. Damn, yeah. Hey, and out of all them people you
100
mentioned,
yards of football.
hey, yeah, 100 yards of football. Hey, I'm a champion. On all them, they never won the championship. Everybody, you said this now,
That's
but it's
correct.
okay. It's okay, but I just had to let everybody know that right there. Okay, but it's we just started rolling. We just started coming with the best chemistry, I think, at the latter part of the year, the way that a football team or a team is supposed to come. When it comes to the playoff time, it comes into the season and you're playing for something much more bigger than the season. I mean, and you can gel at the right time. We gelled at the right time, basically. I mean, our defense was golden. Our defense in our locker room, if we turned the ball over, we had it. We had no problem about not worrying about it because I know our defense is going to go get them three and out, and that was the
Hmm.
confidence that we had on the offensive side of the ball, knowing how our defense was. So we can take a whole lot of chances because we know what our defense can do for us. But also by having a running game, people don't understand our defense at that time. Our defense was golden and good. Well, hell, they only played 2 quarters. They only play. Everybody was out by halftime. I mean, the score usually was third was 28-0, 35-0 by halftime. I'm coming out the game. Everybody's coming out the game. That's starters, and we're just sitting there. And I mean that's at halftime. You think about that. I mean that's at halftime. We really didn't, and we didn't already gain 400 yards, 350, and so everybody else got to come in. But I believe the best thing right then was we went back straight to the true wishbone, and nobody could really understand it week in and week out. And when we could understand it, it was too late, But against Nebraska, because, Coach Switzer always said three things during recruiting that we have to beat Texas because it's Texas and that's where we go get all the players at to recruit.
Yes, sir.
We got to beat Oklahoma State because I can't go nowhere in the damn state and live if we lose to Oklahoma State. And we are the real big red. So we got to beat Nebraska because we're the real big red. They're not. And so this was his speech at the beginning of the season every year. And we got to beat these three games and then my job will be okay. And it's a thing where when Nebraska came to us and they gave the ball to Keith Jackson, tell me this, whoever does a tight end reverse, you
Y-
either used to do a running back reverse, a flank, or a wide receiver reverse. And because of all the games in the past from 1971 to 85, Nebraska never changed their defense. And he knew that. And that's
Right.
why you always saw at the end of every Oklahoma Nebraska game, it was always thrilling when Oklahoma had the ball because they knew that Nebraska was not gonna change nothing up in their defense, no matter what we did. And Coach Switzer always knew that he had that joker in his pocket, knowing that, and he wait to the last quarter to pull some Sooner Magic stuff out, and we come and win, whether it was me or somebody else. But he knew that they wouldn't change their defense. So when you come up to the line of scrimmage and you have a two-play call, all I have to do is figure out what I, what the players are most on my side compared to less on their side. So I see 6 on the left compared to 5 on the right. Well, okay. Well, we don't want to go to the left. We want to go to the right. Just common sense. I mean, and that was a two-play call that we did coming up to the line of scrimmage, knowing that they wasn't going to change no matter if we went two tight end and moved the tight end over motion, whatever. They're not going to adjust their defense. And
Let's
he
talk.
waited. Go.
Yeah, let's talk about the Orange Bowl. Tennessee, y'all really didn't know the score during the game, but I'm assuming somebody was on the sideline told you that Tennessee had upset Miami. But this would impress me about the Orange Bowl. All night they keyed on you with Shane Conklin that went on
Oh
to
yeah.
play with it, and he was hitting you every play. But
Oh yeah.
what really impressed me, Jamel, was when you went back and you threw that 77-yard bomb on 3rd and 24 to Keith Jackson, and then Brian Bosworth came off the bench and picked you up in the air. And I know then sooner Boona is going to win the national championship. Talk about that play, 3rd and 24, and you went 77 yards to Keith Jackson.
Well, we practice. If you look at the film, you're going to see a free safety, Isom, number 22. He starts to cheat over in front of Keith. Well, in practice at Tropical Field, when we practice that in Miami, uh, if the safety ever cheats up, that means he's blitzing, and he's going to come down and blitz. And now that is telling me that Keith Jackson is going to be one on one with a linebacker. And when
Right.
I see that, I have to change the play. I have the audible to an all streak. Everybody just run as fast as they can down the field and throw it to whoever I think can catch the ball. And it was key. I started seeing 22 scoot over, started cheating up. I called kill, kill, kill. Why go? Why go? And changed the play. Here comes the blitz. I throw the ball, man, as far as I can throw it. And Keith ran as fast as he could to go catch it. And it happened. And we win. And you know, the scariest thing was after looking at the play and then Damon still coming away there and couldn't block the guy, I was like, I hope we don't get a clip. I'd be locking below the waist at the end of this pretty stuff. But then they didn't call it, and Bosworth came out there and almost knocked the hell out of me down and jumping all over me and we went on and won and again Shane Collin was everywhere I went, but again, whatever you put into the game, to me, that's what you're gonna get out. And so we were prepped and ready for whatever they brought at us. And because the way that they brought it at us, it's up to me to change, to change the play and get us in the right play. And that's always been very good for me, is to be able to get us in the right play and make the right call and not the right mistake.
Y'all win a national championship. You get all the accolades. You freshman of the year, national champion. The only freshman outside Trevor Lawrence to win the national championship as a true freshman quarterback in college football
Let me tell
history.
you. Okay, let me tell you right now. I was the first one.
Okay, the
Not
first one.
outside of Trevor Lawrence. I'm the first one. Then he came behind me. Go ahead.
And I'm sorry, Mr. Holloway. The first freshman to win a national championship at the University of Oklahoma in college football history.
There we go. That's all.
Now let's go to the '86 season. You come in ranked number one. Miami is number two. That game, probably the most watched game your sophomore year in the Orange Bowl. I watched that game over and over again. And it's one of the best football games. It had some super athletes on the field, man. Tessa Verde, Alonzo Highsmith, Michael Irvin, Benny
Oh,
Blaze, Bubba McDowell, Mr. Holloway, Ballsworth, Ricky Dixon.
mm,
Y'all lose that game 28-16. And to tell you the truth, I thought y'all team was better than your national championship team. But
mhm.
I want to talk about your offense that year. Y'all led the country in rushing and scoring. Talk about some of the players that was in the backfield with you, like Earl Johnson, Spencer Tillman, Patrick Collins, Anthony Stratford, Leon Perry, Anthony Phillips, the Phillips brothers blocking on the offensive line, Mark Hudson and Keith Jackson. But talk about that offensive year. And then I want to ask you something now. I'm gonna ask you, man. You know it was wrong, y'all doing Missouri like that year, 77-0, and
7-0.
putting up 681 yards total offense. Talk about those questions I just asked you.
It was we are I Anthony Stafford. We had the kitty crew, as they called us. Patrick, Patrick, Patrick Collins, Anthony Stafford, myself, Leon Perry, and uh, and it was Earl Johnson and Spencer and all them. And it was just really, really. Fantastic, because people don't realize that nobody was over doggone 6 feet.
Yup.
Nobody,
Yes, sir.
nobody was over 6 feet tall, and it was because we was called the Smurfs. At one particular time, because everybody about 5'9", 5'10", no bigger. But everybody was fast and understood how everything worked. And what people didn't understand was that at Owen Field we have a the field was had a hump in the middle. And so we had the advantage by having that hump in the middle, because it's downhill whether we run the option left or right, it's downhill for us. And it's uphill for the defense. And that was the part that a lot of people didn't understand. You could be on one side of the sidelines and look over to the other side, and you couldn't see nobody because of that hump. But that was to our advantage because we ran the option downhill all the time. And then to have the offensive line that year, we had a lot of injuries in that first year. We had a lot of injuries, and not to go back to it, but you think about this: when Troy got hurt, uh, and I came in, we changed our offense at halftime in 15 minutes. 15
Mm.
minutes we changed our offense. And it hurts me to hear when people they need a whole 3 months to run an offense to get inclined. And we had different people, various of people in that offense. I mean, in 15 minutes we changed back to the wishbone. And see, and again, when people talk about changing their offense and they need a whole 3 to 6 months to do it, that I'm like, y'all ain't smart then. I mean, because see, we were really smart to change it in 15 minutes. But anyway, we'll fast forward to the 86. I think that we had the best team in America because of all what we went through that first year. Okay. And going into this season is I just loved it. And to be able to pass again, we still had the defense, like without Tony Casillas and Eddie. I mean, not Eddie Murphy, but Kevin Murphy. He was gone. But other than that, it wasn't too much. It wasn't. We had the same team. And that was the beauty and the best because people didn't understand that every level we had an All American. I mean, that first year we had Tony Casillas, Lombardi winner. Bosworth, Buckets winner. Ricky Dixon, first, first,
Jim Thorpe
first,
Award. Jim
first
Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe. Yes, and I mean, so when you got somebody at every level, damn, that defense is good. You can only get past so many levels in football, but doggone, you can't get past all three levels. And Ricky Dixon, rest in peace. That he's my he's my man. I miss my buddy, but people don't give him. He was the best. He was the best defensive back the whole time he was at the University of Oklahoma. He really was. And I miss my buddy wholeheartedly. People don't realize that he was the first one that got $1 million signing bonus in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
Just them little bitty things. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then y'all end the season after the loss to Miami. Y'all run the table, and then y'all go to the Orange Bowl in '87. Then you have Bosworth dealing with the
Oh, sure.
media with the shirt. But then y'all really kind of took it hard on the school I graduated from, the University of Arkansas. Y'all beat them 42-8 in the Orange Bowl. But what I
Can,
like,
can I
what I
just tell you right quick? Hold on. I just want to interrupt you right quick since I
yes,
didn't know
sir.
you went to Arkansas.
Yes,
Right.
sir, I did. Pig
Oh,
Sooie. Pig
I'm
Sooie.
sorry about you. Oh, we pig suey or whatever the hell y'all. Woo pig suey. Okay, but let me start this Let me start this one off because in 1976, when Oklahoma played Arkansas, and it was Lou Holtz against friggin' Barry Switzer. And the way that Lou Host put that whooping on Barry Switzer, he did not forget about it for the next 9, 11 years, because when we played y'all at Arkansas and it was wishbone against wishbone, it was, I don't know if y'all even had Quinn Grovey then, but I knew that y'all had the little Groovy,
Yeah, he was the
Groovy,
quarterback. Yeah,
Grovey.
Grovey. You said it
Yeah,
correct.
the sideline analyst right now. And y'all have a little bitty chubby fullback.
Barry
Okay, and the
Foster.
deep
Barry
okay, yeah,
Foster.
and the defense and the nose guard or the tackle that was supposed to be all that. But but it was a thing that Coach Switzer would not let us come out of the game until the fourth quarter, because he sit there and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go just run it down their damn throat. We're gonna go score 50 or more points, and y'all just keep on going, because you know what? He embarrassed me in 1976."
Let me
That was the
you correct on that. But let me get you correct on it was the 78 Orange Bowl and Roland Sales put 241 on y'all. So let's get that correct first.
oh, see
Not 78,
1978.
the Orange
78.
Bowl.
Is
The
that when
Orange Bowl.
Billy? Is that when Billy? Is no okay? 78. I mean, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
wasn't back then.
it was a 77 season. Then it was a
Uh huh.
78 Orange
78
Bowl.
Orange Bowl. Yeah, January
Yeah,
1.
Billy won
You
the
know.
Heisman in 78.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. Say what you gonna say. I mean, you
Well, but I
know.
didn't want to start nothing,
Arkansas,
but
Arkansas is a basketball school to me. Hey, 90 and 91, them back to back national champion that they threw the second game against. You know, they didn't, Corliss Williams and them didn't want to play no more. They
yeah,
had all of,
yeah.
hey, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna put that out there like
But you
that.
but you correct though. Let's move on to the
Okay.
your junior. You correct though, no question
Yeah.
about it. But I was just asking you, Mr. Holloway, why y'all did the University of Arkansas so bad that year in the Orange Bowl. But let's move on. Your
Okay.
junior year, and I'm gonna be really respectful to this to you if you want to talk about your injury that kind of changed your time in Oklahoma. It happened in the Oklahoma State game. I didn't know this. I was reading some notes today. You didn't even get hit on that play, correct?
No, it was, you know what, man? It was that old, it was that old cheapo AstroTurf at Owen Field they had with cement on the bottom, and they had a piece of carpet over there, and my foot got caught in the seam where it sewed that it connected, and it I broke the seam, so my foot slid up underneath the carpet,
Mm.
and because I was about to cut back, and then Pat Jones the first one out there, and you know, and he was happy I was down, and it was all right because it was all right because that next week I got to go wear my fur coat on the sidelines against Nebraska.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, and knowing that it was a national championship game, and coaching them took me there for moral support, myself and Lydell Carr, and I knew that we was gonna be on national TV. So you know, it's like, okay, yeah, I think it's about time to put on this fur coat and let's stand on the sidelines and be all we can be.
So you was the Joe Namath of that
That,
time.
Dang, see, Harp. Hey, man, I love you. I like you. You know that the Joe Namath of my time. He was the first one in pro. I'm gonna be the first one in college. And back then, I get on the plane, right? We get on the bus because I was the last one to get on the bus, and I get on the bus with this fur coat in. And Coach Switzer said, "Son, where you get that fur coat from?" And I said, "Coach, you really want me to explain where I got it from?" He's like, "Man, just get on the bus, get in the back, and get on the bus." And so, yeah,
Okay,
NIL was good to me too.
let me ask you this. And on the serious tip, explain your relationship with Coach Switzer. What was your relationship with, and how close was it?
Man, my coach is a friend, a father, then a coach. You know, he's to this day, he's good. He's my mentor. I still listen to him. You know, Coach Switzer is it's all that to me, and he's just really good for us. You know, he's getting up there in the 89, and and and, uh, and so it's just a thing. It's just a thing that Coach Switzer will always be the best in my eyes. You
Well, I
know,
read I read some that Coach Switzer, and I found some information that Coach Switzer said about you. He said, out of all the wishbone quarterbacks I had at Oklahoma, there's no question about it. Jamelle Holieway is the best to the top of the list. He said the most physical running back I had, and he called you running back at the quarterback position. The best decision maker. He called you the architect. The best person that had the ability to be strong and durable. Then the most punishing wishbone quarterback I ever had. Now I want people out there to hear this. See, running the wishbone, you don't get hit every play. And this young man I got in the front of the screen, he ran it at a high level at Oklahoma. He got hit. And his coach, Coach Switzer, said he was the best ever done it. And he said you was the most athletic quarterback he ever had. Now I'm gonna tell you, the University of Oklahoma has had some tremendous wishbone quarterbacks in the day. Jack Mildred, Danny Bradley, Thomas Lott, J.C. Watts, Kelly Phelps, Daryl Shepard. I'm talking about some people that can really
you
can
heard
get
the
it.
ding.
But at the
I heard
end
the
of the
ding.
day, at the end of the day, Coach Switzer said it's the best I ever had at the position. I'm gonna ask you this: what was so special running that wishbone, and why you ran it at a high level?
Well, uh, hold on, I'll tell you right about now. Um, People don't understand that when you're running the option or you run the wishbone, that you have to make the right play within within 5 seconds. You got to make every 3 seconds. You got to make the right play, and I got to make three different decisions, three different times, in three different sections. So my first one is going to be the fullback, whether or not the tackle comes down and takes that fullback. I got to make that read. I got to make that right read so it can start jumping off. So I make that right read and I pull the ball. You know, the right read if will be given if he can go get 5 yards, 4 yards. But if I pull the ball, I come around. Now I have to make that next quick decision to the end that's crashing down on me, whether I'm gonna keep the ball or I'm gonna pitch it. Okay, so now I'm gonna keep the ball because that man went over there to the running back. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna turn it up now. Now I got to go down here and make another decision in the next 3 seconds. If this cornerback is coming up on me, now I got to either pitch the ball or I just got to manhandle him. You know, but I love it when they come and tackle me. And then my next decision is to pitch the ball at the end when I'm falling down to that running back who's still following me down the side. And that's the most beautifulest picture and thing I think I've ever seen, to be able to pitch the ball to the man when I'm falling down and he catches it in stride and he goes and runs that next 45 yards. I mean, that's so pretty. It's like poetry in motion, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And you know, I don't know if it's cocky or what, but I mean, I just like to see that. I mean, it's just like some just chemistry. I mean, you know, it's pretty looking to me. I mean, you know, it's the best girl on the block. I mean, that's what I want right there. I mean, because you know, she's beautiful. The way that they run that play right there and make the right decision. You can't, because when you can fake the cameraman out, you know that you're doing something good because he can't even figure out where the ball is. So it can anybody else.
Let's play a little game here, and what I want you to do on the scale, we're gonna give grades from
Okay.
A from A to F, and I'm gonna
A to
give
F.
you Yeah, 80. And I want you to give me a grade for all these great backfields that then played at the University of Oklahoma. I'm going to start in 1971. Jack Mildred, Greg Pruitt, Leon Crosswhite, and Joe Riley. Give me a
B.
grade.
I'll give you a B.
Okay, 1975. Steve Davis, Elvis Peacock, Joe Washington, Horace Avery.
I'll give him an A.
78, which I think is one of the greatest backfields in college football history. Thomas Lott out of San Antonio, David Overstreet, Kenny King, and Billy Sims.
I'll give him a B plus.
Yeah, I like that.
1980, J.C. Watts, Stanley Wilson, Buster Rhymes, Chet Winters, David Overstreet.
I gotta give them a B plus too. I gotta give them a B minus.
1984, Danny Bradley, Steve Sherrill, Lydell Carr, Spencer Tillman, and Patrick Collins.
I'm gonna give them a B. I'm gonna give them a B plus because of damn Spencer diving against Nebraska at that damn float in the air like he was just like he could just fly like fucking Superman. Excuse
In,
me.
1985, Anthony Stratford, Patrick Collins,
Stafford.
Leon Perry, Lydell Carr, Spencer Tillman, and yours truly, Jamelle Holieway.
A plus. A plus because
And,
we won.
and
That's the
finally,
only reason.
and finally, I gotta represent the state of Mississippi because this is
Marcus
what.
Dupree.
There you go. And the reason I gotta represent that is because it's where my parents are from. That's where me and Bryce grandparents are from, the state of Mississippi. And Marcus Dupree is from Philadelphia. Grade for him running that ball at Oklahoma from A to B, from A to F.
A
What you
A
get?
plus. A plus, baby.
Is he the
A
greatest?
plus.
Is he the greatest running back ever at the University of Oklahoma in his
I ain't gonna say
time?
I ain't gonna say he the greatest. He one of the greatest because
Okay.
I got Adrian Peterson. I
Yes,
got
sir.
Billy Sims. I got Steve Owens. I
Yes,
got
sir.
Greg Pruitt. You know what I mean? Hey, I got Kenny King.
Yes, sir.
I got a lot of motherfuckers. I mean, excuse me. I got a lot of people to play the roles.
No question about
I
it.
mean,
This.
at that position, and and you know the gracefulness, and the best thing about all that is I wish I could have played with Marcus. You know, Marcus. Matter of fact, let me do this. November 1st, Billy Sims and I will be at Ho Chi Town, Oklahoma. On November 15th, Marcus Dupree and I will be at Grant Casino in Hugo, Oklahoma. But I'm saying
Amen.
it's ironic that you mention these names and that we have these upcoming events. So that's why I said there
No
and
problem. So you.
said that the greats hang out with the greats, and I'm just loving being a part of the greats. I mean, and that's the reason why I went to the University of Oklahoma to be just a part of this tradition, and then knowing that I put my name up there in that tradition
Boomer.
is the best feeling ever. Besides winning the national championship, just being a Sooner, and people to look at me 40 something years later, that's all right. I'm humbled, I'm blessed, and so it's all good.
Well, I want to say this to you. I don't want to take your time up no more today because I know you got people you got to tend to. But I'm gonna say this: it's been a tremendous blessing that I've been in your presence today here on 100 Yards Football. And I want to thank my cousin again, Bryce Turner, with Big Chief Publishing Company for making this happen. And me being the age I am, I'm 65 years old, so I've seen a lot of great history of college football.
Yes,
And I
sir.
fell in love with Oklahoma running the wishbone in 71. But I'm going to say this: I've seen a lot of great quarterbacks that play the position, run that triple option from Lance McElhaney at SMU. I saw him up close and personal. I saw the great Eldridge Dickey in 1966 with Tennessee State University, 6 year old. I saw Joe Gilliam, and I thought
Yeah.
they were some of the greatest quarterbacks I saw at the position.
What
But
about
after
Holloway
him,
from Tennessee?
Another
Holloway
one.
from
And
Tennessee.
no question about it. I'm gonna throw Walter Lewis in there from Alabama.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw another one that a lot of people haven't really talked about. Eddie McShann at Georgia Tech and Reggie Collier at Southern Mississippi. Reggie
Okay.
Collier came out the year after I did. But I'm gonna say this: you set the tone for greatness at the position, running the option. And it's been no better wishbone quarterback that's played on the face of this earth or in college
I'm
football.
ready, man.
Your records speak for yourself and your stats. And if
Thank
you
you,
wouldn't have
brother.
hurt you, and if you wouldn't have got your knee hurt, Oklahoma would have probably won 2 or 3 more national championships, and you
You know what I
probably
mean?
and you probably would have went on to a real nice career in the National
That's
Football
how you
League.
do it.
And I don't think what people know today as how great a player you really was at the position. But I hope after they watch this YouTube video today, they realize how great you are, and they go check out your YouTube highlights.
There we
But
go. There
but
we
I
go.
like to say thank you, many blessings, and blessings
Hey.
to you from here on out. And I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna give it back to you as I say this: Boomer sooner. Dun 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 dun
Hey.
dun
All
dun
right,
dun
Dun,
man.
dun
dun,
dun dun dun
dun, dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Sooners
Final
out.
word. Final words,
Love you.
Mr. Holloway, in the video today. Final
Uh,
words.
all right. Final words is the Sooners will make the playoffs at the end of this year, and because we got a hell of a season, a gauntlet season, and the SEC is the best league there is. And if we can go through there and lose 2 or 3, but still make the playoffs, Coach Venerables, I'm with you. All the Sooner Nation, I'm with you. Let's go get them out.
Thank you and God
Boomer
bless.
Standard. All right.
That ends the video today here on 100 Yards Football. Mr. Jamelle Holloway. Thank you.
Ah, Bryce and Jay. Jay and
Already, man.
Bryce.
Big Chief Publishing and Film Productions, baby.
There we go. All right, we got it done. We got it.